Thank you to our Violent patrons, Slurtle4765, Midnight Gem Lord, and Sean. And a very big thank you to our 20 patron, Alex Ice Rose. Nah, you know what's crazy? The villains did way less damage than all the rashes did. Midoriya did not bathe. Bro was in the same suit for weeks at a time. Bro did not shower. He did not get a whiff of water. I bet the most clean he felt was when it was raining that night when he was fighting a god. And even then, I know bro smelled awful, atrocious, horrible. Like legitimately, he needed more than one bath. I don't know what they were doing. Sliding that boy in one time. Nah, you need to hit him with that at least a solid 25 times. Because he's at least spent 25 days out there in them streets with nothing but his own funk. I bet bro didn't have no deodorant on, no cologne. He was pulling up on vigilantes and villains like nobody else, stinking like nobody else, smelling awful like nobody else, and probably doing 20% damage to him just by his AoE funk aura alone. Vigilante Deku, while being one of the coolest designs, is also one of the definitively nastiest. I'm calling the Flash, Superman, any like fictional like 30 miles. I'm just kidding, 10 miles in 30 minutes. I believe like the fastest mile time ever is a 3:30, and I think I may be wrong. I think it was like a 3:40 or something. And you want me to do 10 miles? That means you would have to run a mile at 2 minutes and 59 seconds. I don't think there's a human being on a planet, not even our planet, in the multiverse who could do that. Like, what? Well, I get it. 200 mil is crazy. But, like, I'm not superhuman. I am not Jay Garrick. You're not looking at Wally West. This is not Barry Allen right here. I'm sorry. Like, unless I can get someone to give me the Speed Force real quick, there is no way I'm physically able to do that, or anyone. Now that you mention it, what does he do during, like, a majority of the time? Because we know he's conscious in there. Like, it's not like he just goes to sleep, and then when Itadori wants him out, he comes out. No, bro is, like, alive. Living, breathe. Does he eat? I doubt it, right? Like, he has no need to eat. He's kind of just like a soul. Like, does he play cards with himself? Does he go insane? Or is it just, like, constantly the Yuji TV show? Like, is he just consistently waiting for the new episode, which is every day until he gets free? I don't know. That'd be kind of awful when you think about it. Like, same thing with any other inner demon. Like, do you just sit there with your thoughts, not being able to go anywhere? It's kind of awful. I mean, like, sure, Sukuna is an absolutely terrible person, and he can definitely stand to have a few more eternities inside a vessel, but still, kind of rough. While I definitely understand that mentality, me personally, I don't want to smoke, but I am going to live, like, the most reckless of lives. Like, notably, I don't want to put anyone else in danger. Like, I wouldn't actively go out of my way to fight anything or hurt anybody, but, like, hey, what? Why are you skydiving without a parachute? Infinite health. Hey, why are you suddenly a stunt double in all these movies with like no safety precaution? I have infinite health. Hey, why do you keep getting your organs done? I have infinite health. Like, at least if I think it works the way I think it works, like you just literally just cannot run out of health. Like, you are consistently in peak form, your body will automatically go back, pretty much like super regeneration. Yeah, sure, I will be in a lot of pain. But what's pain going to do to me? It's not like I can go anywhere. Nothing is taking away infinite health. I'm pretty much good. Vile, mid-game, hates every fiber of your being Isagi is the best Isagi. Not a calm Metavision Isagi, not a flow Isagi, not even like a top of the line insane second selection Isagi. No, the Isagi that is the best is the one that will literally attack your very being. He will remove everything from the game. He does not even care. You won't even be playing football anymore. No, he will look you dead into your soul and say some of the most soul-crushing, self-destroying, like, bro is a monster and a beast. And then right after the game is over, he'll be your best friend. I think that's, like, the amazing and terrifying part. I don't think he knows what happens. I think he literally just gets possessed and then comes out as a monster for, like, a solid page or two, and then goes back to normal. It is crazy and amazing. I love it. If we're talking evil in terms of like sheer volume of lives taken away by the respective ID, then yeah. Yeah, Momoshiki has done way more damage. Bro's had at least 2 chakra fruits. I know he's had way more. Don't get mad at me, Boruto fans. But at least 2 chakra fruits. Bro has literally wiped out and decimated entire civilizations and planets. All just to get stronger. That is way more than anything Sukuna has done. However, on a personal level, on like a one-to-one individual, especially relative to their hosts, I think Sukuna's got it. Like, Momoshiki has been more of an asset than a liability for the most part. Like, yeah, he took the Rinnegan, but like, Sukuna literally made Itadori's life horrible on purpose numerous times. Momoshiki and Boruto, they kind of got a symbiotic relationship when you really think about it. You know, Sukuna is literally just a parasite. Hi, it's your local guy who still has not read all of One Piece, only has like the recent chapters in his memory because I occasionally scan those. One question. Why, Oda? Why are you putting Kid and Law through this? They just barely, together, took down Big Mom and Wano. Why are you putting them up individually against the monsters and top tiers of the verse? Why? I don't know. Like, do you not like them? Do you not like these characters anymore, Oda? Why are you doing this? What do you think is going to happen to Law when he fights Blackbeard? Blackbeard going to show up and hit us with the room, and we're going to be like, ah! Because of course it will happen. Kid is going to lose his other arm and then maybe his life. Like, we're going to see Killer walking away with one of his metal pieces. Like, that's all we got. I have no idea why Oda's doing this to them. It has to be personal. You know, I was one of the many that was clamoring for a Yuji power-up. I felt like it was necessary. I felt like there was nothing we could do without him getting a power-up. But honestly, at this point, I don't even want it no more. I just want to see him take his fists and slam them as hard as humanly possible into every single one of his opponents now. Like, he's already been doing it, but now that he's like slobber knocking the King of Curses, I just need to keep it that way. Like, I don't even need the domain. I don't need the curse technique. I don't need none of that. I just need Itadori Yuji. Hitadori Yuji, I suppose, doing that good do with nothing but those bare knuckles hitting the meanest of brawls this side of the Mississippi. I need him to do it. And he's doing it so well right now. I cannot wait for the next chapter. JJK has to be the best Nugent. It's hitting.
Side eye. Criminal offensive side eye. Do you understand?
Okay, now hear me out. Vigilante Deku, or as properly known, Dark Deku, or Emo Deku, or Stinky Deku, as we should know him as, is not the best version of the character. Like, it's just hard to argue that, but at least to me, he was the most interesting. Mainly because Midoriya, throughout the rest of the narrative, is so mentally sound, and the most he really breaks is physically, which is still bad, obviously, but I liked seeing him get broken down mentally in the Vigilante arc. Meanwhile, everywhere else, he's so mentally sound. It was just the only time I ever saw Midoriya get close to breaking, and I like seeing that in characters. Thusly, Vigilante is my favorite variation of him, even though I can acknowledge on a writing front, on a fight front, on a power front, Vigilante doesn't take the cake in really anything at all. Now, notably, I'm not a very big comic fan. Like, I know a lot about the comics, and I like a lot of their concepts and their characters, but I'm not, like, the most hugest diehard. So when I saw Ultron and Age of Ultron, I thought it was cool. I just didn't necessarily think he fit the vibe he was supposed to. Like, if anything, he should have been more Terminator-esque, but James Spader gave him such an amazing, charismatic, wonderful personality that I just didn't buy it. I didn't buy that he was like a robot against humanity. And I feel like he just wasn't given enough time. Maybe if he was allowed to exist for more than a 2.5 hour movie, then I think he would get a lot more respect and a lot more care and a lot more interest by the common fan base, like Loki, like Thanos, like Kang. But I think Ultron's very short existence kind of did him dirty, and the contrast to the comics obviously did not help.
My money, cause every time he caught me, steady incarcerated in my left right pocket, watch this.
You know which Itachi it took to beat Orochimaru is stated equal to Jiraiya, the strongest of the legendary Sannin. The man, the myth, the monster himself who beat Jiraiya to leave the village. Do you know what it took Itachi to do to scare Orochimaru away for the rest of his days? What it took? A glance. All Itachi did was look at Brody, and Orochimaru was like, whoa, 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 wait a second. Maybe I'm not him. Maybe the Uchiha really are like that. Hold on, I'm sorry, bro. I'll even leave the Akatsuki. I'll leave the Akatsuki right. Itachi was like 13. And you mean to tell me that you think Jiraiya stands a chance against 18-year-old Itachi? 21-year-old Itachi? You could put Itachi on his deathbed up against Jiraiya, and Itachi would probably still pull out a dub.
My money, cause every time he caught me, steady incarcerated in my left right pocket, watch this.
No lie, that really is another level of dedication, bruh. That is insane. That is insane. I don't even want to know what that was like. Like, imagine you are so deep in. You're so invested in this plan of yours. This is the only thing you got in your mind for 1,000 years so badly that you would literally let your cheeks get clapped. By someone presumably random, too. I mean, maybe not random. Maybe the whole Itadori line has something fancy with him. But even still, letting your cheeks get clapped in general. You've been living thousands and thousands of years. Who knows what you really been doing, but you just got done. Because you really need this vessel to pop out real quick. That's crazy. You said, fine, I'll do it myself. Didn't slide on the Infinity Gauntlet. In fact, you slid a certain thing off to slide a certain thing in, if you know what I'm saying. Like, I can respect Kenjaku's hustle, but at the same time, it could never be me.
My money, cause every time he caught me, steady incarcerated in my left right pocket, watch this.
I think at this point, after all Yuji Itadori has done, we must evolve. He has evolved, obviously. He's on a completely different level. So Yuji Itadori does in fact not have that dog in him. Yuji Itadori is the dog. I think that's just the fact now. Brody has run up on all of these high-level cursed spirits, these reincarnated kings of curses. It doesn't matter if you are the literal embodiment of the human soul and hatred. He will run up on you, and he will give you these paws. You see this man right here? He is walking through the technique of the king of curses. Someone with that dog in them couldn't do that. But someone who is the dog would do that before breakfast. I still remember when this first dropped in the manga and I was mixed on it because part of me was wrapped up in the whole idea of like, this is so unbelievably cool. Like Midori is pulling out fake 100% to start blitzing people by building up kinetic energy and releasing it all at once. That was really, really cool. But at the same time, he literally pulled out like a whole new quirk and then used it effectively just like that. Which, I don't know, it kind of undervalues the whole, like, journey that he was supposed to be going on with these quirks. But considering the pace of the narrative, I can't necessarily get mad at Hori for it. He introduced the plot point, so he kind of had to conclude it. And if you're gonna conclude it, you should at least conclude it in a cool way. And obviously, him blitzing Nagant like this and absolutely annihilating her is extremely cool. But at the same time, I feel like the 6 quirks just lost a lot of value. No lie, I'm definitely praying on Bro's downfall, though. Like, I'm glad he beat the fraud allegations, like, legitimately, but he did get a mountain chucked at him, too. So, realistically, 100% being absolutely keeping in the stack with y'all, I need him to go. I do not like what he did to the narrative of My Hero Academia. I think the whole all-for-one plot twist where he was trying to slurp up Shigaraki is whack. I think the fact that he's standing around here doing things still is whack. The fact that he managed to come back from the GOAT Endeavor, the best new-gen thing, period, I think that's whack. I just need All For One to go, dog. I need him to keep de-aging until he's nothing but a child and like all the characters collectively start stomping on Brody, like straight up. Like they in the streets of New York, bada bing, bada boom, they all pull out their Timberlands that they've been keeping in their back pockets. They slide them on and then they just start like legitimately. I need them to do this man dirty, disgusting, down atrocious, whatever you need, get it done.
My money, cause every time he caught me, steady incarcerated in my left right pocket, watch this.
I'm convinced more than like any other mangaka who had like a super OP, super crazy, top of the line final villain, Kubo really looked at Yuha and just had no idea how to get rid of him. like straight up just had no clue. Not a single clue in the world. That's why he had to shut his powers off. Like Ichigo literally offed him and Yuha got back up. He was like, yeah, I could see my own death. So I'll just undo it. Like, bruh, Yuha was something else. He's still like one of the most broken villains I've ever seen in a piece of fiction just because he's literally the verse itself. Like outside of super stupid, crazy, dumb characters like Aizen or the Soul King or something like that, Yuha is just amazingly snapped in all the wrong and right ways.
Which of these characters would I trust my money with? Now, if you have common sense, there's one objectively right answer here.
Dog, these are like nothing. There's only really is one option. There's no other choice here. It's not Tsunade. She gambling that all away. Blackbeard would rob me and then proceed to pull up on me later with the blicky and get rid of me. And Inosuke would probably try to eat the darn money. Nami would run away as well, probably with Tsunade, and then take Tsunade's money. Shigaraki would literally take the money in his hand and disintegrate it in front of me and start laughing and then reach for my face. Muzan would laugh and then eat me and then proceed to take all my money and go turn into a child or something. And Kakuzu would also just rob me, probably take my heart too, and then I'm done. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to trust Bakugo with it. Bakugo seems like the kind of guy who would actually do something with my money. He seems like a guy who knows how to invest. I trust Bakugo. Sure, he screams a lot, he's loud, he's mean, he's nasty, he's disgusting, but he's also like the third best My Hero Academia character, and he's the only one on this list who will not do extreme damage to me and or burn my money away.
For my money, 'cause every time he calls, steady incarcerated in my left, right pocket, watching.
Hold on. Let me cope real quick. So let's be realistic about this. If Itadori Yuji wasn't the MC, if he didn't have that MC status on him, would Sukuna, one of the main villains of JJK, really hopped on a bird and ran? Like let's not kid ourselves here. Sukuna didn't execute Itadori. He didn't take him out. Urume didn't take Itadori out. Itadori busted out of the ice. Now 5 seconds later, they hopped on a bird and ran. Sure, they're calling him pathetic, but who's still alive? Who's not worth anything anymore, yet somehow is still breathing, running around, still being a liable threat? Itadori Yuji. Himadori Hiyuji. Yuji's still a threat. Yuji's still the main character. He has the main villain running away with his servant just because he's that afraid of Himothy. And Haruhi. Maki was definitely carrying this chapter, but still,